Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to Smash Factor TV once again. Today we're having a look at what the correct tee height is for you when you're hitting your driver. It's really important to get that tee height correct if you want to get the maximum carry and roll from the best launch angle you can create with that driver. So let's go and have a look at what you should be doing with some more game-changing golf coaching. Hi everyone, and thanks once again for tuning in to Smash Factor TV. My name's Natalie Adams. So today we're going to have a look at what the correct tee height is if you're hitting driver off the tee. And it is really important to get a consistent tee height so you're not varying this, but also to find out which is the right tee height for you. Now, one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a link into the video on how to make sure you are centering your tee shots off the face, because it's really important that when you strike, you are trying to get that golf ball hit from the center of the club face and where the sweet spot is. If you're not, that obviously is then going to affect things. So have a look at that video. But here we're going to specifically look at what's the correct height for the tee. Now, what I've done here, just borrowed another club, and I've just put two other tee pegs onto this club face. Now, your driver club face is a dome-like shape. Okay, so the loft that it says on your driver is measured from the middle of that face. If you're hitting the ball from the lower part of that face, you'll find that that's actually a little bit more de-lofted. So your launch angle that you'd achieve from that would be much more downwards. If you're hitting the ball much more from the upper part of that club face, on the dome shape, you're more lofted than the actual loft that the club says, and so you'll get a higher trajectory. So the true loft of the club, if I just put that middle tee peg in, the true loft of that club is from the center of that face, and also from the center of the face if we look from toe to heel as well. So that's why it's important to get that centered strike. And what we're trying to do is get you to hit from this more centered position, so that we get a more constant trajectory. If you're hitting some shots from lower down on the face, some shots from higher up on the face, then you're going to vary in the initial launch angle that you get, which is now going to affect, you'll hit the ball higher or lower, and it will affect the overall carry and then the overall roll that you achieve with your shot. So for maximum distance here, we want to get that really good initial launch from the center of that, the middle of that club face there, which is going to let us have an optimum angle to achieve the maximum in the air carry that we can get with that ball. And then when it lands, it's still going to give us plenty of roll. So what we want to do here is have a look that when you set your driver up, driver is not going to connect with the floor. It's going to skim just over the floor. So when we set the driver up, we don't want the golf ball set in the center of that club face. We want it set a little bit higher than that. So if I put my club in here and we set this face up, ideally what we want to see is that we've got at least half the ball above the top of the club, the crown of the club there. And a good tip here would be that a lot of balls nowadays have got arrows on them to help with putting alignment, but you could use the name of the golf ball as well. But if we put that arrow on as the equator of the golf ball, when I set up like that, and I put my club next to that, we should have the tee set so that the equator is just at the top of that golf club, because now when I come in to swing, I'm not going to hit the ground with the driver. I'm going to skim the ground with the driver, and I'm going to be just on the upswing as I'm hitting. So that's now going to allow me to hit that ball from the center of the club face. Let's just have a go at that. So we've got that ball set up, half of it above the top of the club, so that when we swing and we're swinging in above the ground, catching the ball on the upswing, that will allow the driver face to be presented to the ball so the ball hits the middle of the driver. That's going to give me a really consistent launch angle. So I'm now going to get much more consistent in the length that I hit that drive. It's going to give me plenty of height to clear whatever's in front of me, rough or ponds, fairway bunkers, but I'm not hitting it too high that the ball's ballooning right up in the air and then I'm not getting any roll on it. So have a go at that and have a look at the other video for how you can check where you're striking off the club face. What I would suggest is that once you've decided the height of the tee peg, so a lot of tees now will come with markers on them, so you can specifically set a particular height all the time. Use that kind of thing, or once you've decided on what height that tee needs to be, then mark a line around the bottom of it, and then you can keep copying that so that you know you're pushing the tee into the same height all the time, rather than just using plain white tees. It would really help you if you do that and use a little marker so that you're teeing up much more constantly, but you'll become a much more consistent driver. That launch angle will improve. It's another game-changing golf tip.